I'm going to do the one where they don't believe in psychology and only what's in the Bible. So if you only believe what's in the Bible, then you don't believe in many other sciences that are in the world. So you don't believe in chemistry, which found the molecular structure of water, which is H2O. If you read in the Bible, you wouldn't have found that. You would have definitely found water in general, but you wouldn't have found like the molecular structure of it, which is what chemistry has done. So for psychology, we wouldn't know most of the things we know about people if there wasn't somebody studying and curious about it. Because God put people on this earth to be curious about all kinds of different things about our world, so that they can better understand our world and also understand Him. So people that went to study the Red Sea, whenever it was parted in half, they actually found scientific evidence that that was actually the case. So through that, people are able to come to Christ because they're like, okay, well, if that story about Moses was true, then maybe all these other stories in the Bible are also true. So that's like with psychology, through that you can understand better kind of why people may have done the things that they did in the Bible, or maybe just understanding people in the Bible in general. So God also calls us to help people, so that we can show His love, And through psychology, that's something that can be done. That's a way for someone to help someone else. Like you may help someone through participating in your church as like a worship leader, but somebody might want to be a psychologist so that they can help someone go through their emotional trauma that they went to school and studied for, and be able to help them and kind of understand where they're coming from. As a Christian psychologist, you would definitely be able to add more of the things that you know about God, and being able to kind of add in there, God's got you, God's bigger than this, all that type of things, to kind of help people out with their situation. And so secular, just because the theorists may be secular, some of the theorists may be secular in psychology, doesn't necessarily mean that the information that they collect is incorrect. So some of the information that have been collected is that red makes us hungry. That is scientifically proven, there are multiple tests of that. There's not something that'll come out and say, oh, that's wrong, because just because a secular theorist has created that. And just because they are secular doesn't mean that they're wrong. Theologians also get things wrong, simply just because we're all human. Humans will always make mistakes, no matter if they're Christian, secular, in the middle somewhere, they'll always make mistakes. It really doesn't matter. So to say that you don't believe in something because there could be mistakes isn't entirely fair, because there are plenty of mistakes. You make mistakes every single day. So along with that, there are mistakes, of course. I'm not saying that, there are mistakes. So since there are going to be mistakes, you have to also use your discernment with God and reading the Bible and things like that to kind of know when that's kind of not okay. Like whenever you're going through churches and you're trying to figure out the ones you're going to, you're going to listen to what's being said and what other people say. And if something doesn't quite sit right with you through your talking to God and reading the Bible and all that discernment and everything, then it probably isn't right. So you can't just completely write something off if you haven't had the opportunity to research yourself. So with a psychology topic like attachment styles, somebody says something and you're kind of like, what does that mean? Or maybe it just didn't sound right to you. You could go look that up. You could probably find examples in the Bible of different attachment styles with the whole attachment theory. And then whenever you're sick, you don't just pray, which I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but you definitely should pray if you're sick and things like that. But that's not the only thing you do. If you're really sick, you'll go to the doctor and kind of be like, hey, this is what's going on. Can you help me out? That type of thing. And they'll help you out with your physical body, running tests, giving you medicine, all the things like that. So if you have an emotional situation, for example, if you're depressed or have anxiety and things like that, and you go to the psychologist, you probably go to doctor for that too, but for psychologists, or if you go through something, you can go to psychologists and they'll help you kind of with your mental state, kind of like talk to you about, what's going on and give you things to work on and help you kind of figure out what to do. So basically, not believing in an entire science because there are secular people within it kind of writes off all the people that are Christian in it, or in general just kind of ignores the fact that just because they're secular doesn't mean that it's not correct information. Some theologians are secular. The people that probably translated the Bible might have been secular. So that doesn't necessarily make it that it's wrong or that it shouldn't be paid attention to. It's definitely something that can go along with your reading of the Bible to help you understand God better and also yourself.